The British royal family has long been a source of fascination, and with every passing year, new controversies emerge, further complicating the already complex dynamics of the monarchy. However, nothing has caused as much of an uproar as the latest scandal involving Queen Consort Camilla, whose decision to auction off a portion of Queen Elizabeth II's beloved horses has shaken the royal family to its core. The horses, which were more than just animals to the late Queen, were symbols of her reign, embodying her passion for equestrianism and her unwavering commitment to British traditions. These creatures, bred and cared for by the Queen herself, were seen as living tributes to her decades-long reign. They were emblematic of the Queen's deep love for the British countryside, her connection to her subjects, and her tireless dedication to the royal duties that she held dear. So when Camilla, a woman who has already faced criticism for her perceived lack of public affection and struggles to endear herself to the British public, decided to sell off these treasured horses, it was nothing short of shocking. The decision to auction off such significant pieces of the Queen's legacy has been met with disbelief and disdain from many corners of the world. It is a bitter irony that Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose entire life was defined by her dignity, grace, and sense of duty, should be remembered by the sale of some of her most treasured possessions. These horses, which were so integral to her life and legacy, are now being sold to the highest bidder, raising the question, why? Why would Camilla, now in a position of immense power as Queen Consort, choose to sell these regal animals that were so much more than mere assets? Some critics argue that this move is simply another example of Camilla's disregard for royal tradition. It is widely known that her ascent to the throne was fraught with scandal. As a woman who spent years publicly pursuing Prince Charles while he was still married to Princess Diana, Camilla has never fully escaped the shadow of their tumultuous relationship. Many see her as a calculated opportunist, someone who clawed her way into the royal family with little regard for the sanctity of Charles's first marriage. And now, with her latest move, it seems that she is willing to cast aside the legacy of the late Queen Elizabeth II for the sake of convenience, or perhaps even personal gain. For those who view Camilla with suspicion, the sale of these horses was not unexpected. To them, it was almost inevitable that someone who has spent so much of her life manipulating circumstances to her advantage would eventually find a way to erase the remnants of a past that she could never fully control. The horses, in her eyes, are just another reminder of the past that she would prefer to forget, an inconvenient symbol of the royal traditions she never fully embraced. In many ways, this latest scandal reveals the depths of Camilla's character. It's not just that she has decided to sell the horses, it's the manner in which she has done it. Her decision seems not only reckless but selfish. These animals, after all, were not simply symbols of Queen Elizabeth's reign, they were a living testament to the late monarch's devotion to duty and tradition. And now, in one fell swoop, Camilla has reduced them to little more than property to be disposed of. But perhaps what is most disheartening about this entire affair is that it shows a complete disregard for the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch who, despite her personal struggles, always upheld the values of duty, service, and respect for the traditions that have defined the British monarchy for centuries. It is impossible to ignore the symbolism of the horses, magnificent, regal creatures that were bred with care and nurtured as a symbol of the Queen's enduring legacy. For Camilla to so casually dispose of them is not just an insult to the late Queen's memory, it is an affront to the very principles that the monarchy is built upon. The impact of this decision is not lost on Princess Anne, the Queen's only daughter and a woman whose life has been defined by duty and respect for the monarchy's values. Known for her no-nonsense demeanor and deep respect for royal traditions, Princess Anne has long been a staunch defender of the monarchy's integrity. And now, with this latest misstep from Camilla, Anne has stepped forward to confront King Charles, warning him of the disastrous implications that such a move could have on the royal family's reputation. Princess Anne's intervention is particularly striking, given her own long history of service to the monarchy. Unlike Camilla, who has often been accused of prioritizing personal ambition over duty, and has always placed the interests of the royal family above all else. Her decision to speak out against Camilla's actions is a powerful reminder of the values that still matter within the monarchy. Anne's fierce protection of her mother's legacy has made her the voice of reason in a family that has often been torn apart by personal ambitions and public scandals. Anne's deep connection to horses, which was shared by her mother, makes her the perfect defender of Queen Elizabeth's equestrian legacy. She understands the significance of these animals far better than anyone else. The horses are not just a collection of prized possessions, they are living symbols of her mother's reign, a reminder of the dedication, passion, and love that Queen Elizabeth brought to every aspect of her royal duties. In stark contrast, Camilla's cavalier attitude toward these animals is appalling. To her, the horses are little more than an inconvenience, an unnecessary tie to a past she would rather forget. She sees them as nothing more than relics cluttering up the royal stables, and to rid herself of them is simply a practical solution. But what she fails to grasp is the power of symbolism. The horses are not just animals, they are a direct link to the Queen's reign, a living testament to the monarchy's history and legacy. And by selling them, Camilla is erasing that connection. This is where the divide between Anne and Camilla becomes even more apparent. Anne understands the weight of royal tradition and the importance of preserving the monarchy's credibility and relevance. She knows that these horses are not just part of the royal family's assets, they are part of its soul. And so, when Camilla decided to auction them off, Anne saw it as an affront to her mother's legacy and the monarchy's enduring connection to its past. The fact that King Charles, despite his sister's protests, has chosen to support Camilla's decision speaks volumes about the current state of the monarchy. It is clear that Charles's loyalty to his wife, Camilla, outweighs his commitment to the values and traditions that his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, upheld throughout her reign. This is a deeply troubling development for many who had hoped that Charles would restore the monarchy's dignity and respect for tradition after the tumultuous years that followed his mother's passing. For those who have supported the monarchy through thick and thin, Camilla's decision to auction off the horses represents a new low. It is a clear indication that, under her influence, the monarchy may be moving further away from its traditional roots. And while Charles's support of Camilla may be seen as an act of loyalty, it also raises questions about his own commitment to the monarchy's core values. As the monarchy grapples with the fallout from this scandal, it is becoming increasingly clear that Princess Anne may be the last remaining bastion of royal duty and tradition. Her steadfast commitment to preserving the monarchy's legacy, even at the cost of challenging her own brother, has earned her the respect of many who still believe in the institution's values. Anne's actions serve as a reminder that, despite the scandals and controversies that have plagued the royal family in recent years, there are still those who understand the importance of upholding the monarchy's integrity. The damage caused by Camilla's decision to sell the horses will not be easily undone. The royal family's reputation has been tarnished, and the symbolism of the horses being auctioned off cannot be ignored. It is a tragic moment for the monarchy, and one that will be remembered for years to come. For Princess Anne, however, the battle is far from over. She remains the steadfast protector of her mother's legacy, and she will continue to fight for the values that have defined the British monarchy for centuries. As the world watches the monarchy struggle to adapt to a new era, it is clear that the real strength lies not in power or position, but in the unwavering commitment to tradition, duty, and the preservation of the royal family's integrity.